If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. Let me fix that mic. All right, here we go. Hey guys, welcome. Oh, we got a lot to cover today, don't we? Oh, do we ever? What a great day yesterday was. It does not get better than that. It was as good as it gets. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And of course, because of everything that happened, we've got a lot to cover. Do we ever have a lot to cover today? I'm just setting up over here. Welcome, everyone. We will be live in just a few minutes. No. Okay. Almost set up here. I'm still setting up. Believe it or not, it takes a while sometimes. There we go. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. Of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk. And we got a lot to talk about today because Trump, this is his first full day in office, and he had only half a day yesterday. Think about this. He had half a day. And so much of that day was taken up with speeches and parades and everything else. But even with all of that, President Trump got more done in half a day than most presidents get done in 4 years. So we're going to be live on the air in a few minutes. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm live on the radio on a whole bunch of FM radio stations in the morning. And we're not live on the radio yet. We will be in just a few short minutes. But I think Trump yesterday was just beyond spectacular. Don't you guys? I was so impressed with everything that he did yesterday. I'm going to go through the executive orders. We're going to break that down. We're going to take your calls on it. And I know everybody has like their own favorite thing, right? Oh, this is my thing. You know, we all have our thing. There's no doubt about it. But just to pick one thing that he did yesterday that was great is a little difficult to do because he did so many things that were awesome yesterday, right? And there's no getting around that. And focusing in on just one, I don't know if that's possible. I really don't. Do you guys? Could you focus in on just one thing? Who could focus in on just one thing on a day like that? I think it would be completely impossible. I don't think it's possible. But you guys can let me know what you all think. We got so much to cover. I'm going to start with the birthright citizenship. They were talking yesterday. I want to play some of this press conference. He did this amazing press conference in the Oval Office while he's signing all those executive orders yesterday. And they asked him multiple times, what's the greatest threat, security threat to the United States? And I would say that the greatest security threat, he just ran out of the White House, was Biden, and the Biden administration were the biggest threat to the United States. Wouldn't you think that? Mm-hmm. Exactly. So he took care of that threat, but there's a lot more too. And it was, I got to tell you, I've watched every inauguration of my coherent lifetime except the one 4 years ago. I did not watch Biden or Kamala. No way was I going to watch that nonsense. But the one yesterday with President Trump was the most spectacular, beautiful, majestic, important, significant inauguration I've ever seen. You guys agree with that? And it's not just because I love Trump. It was the best. To have a comeback like that was just, it's amazing what President Trump has accomplished here. It's beyond amazing. Words don't even describe what he did. It's that good. Oh, this is going to be a very, very exciting 4 years. All right, we'll be live shortly. I'm just waiting for Mike to tell me what time we're coming on. Oh, Melania looked great too, didn't she? Of course, she looked like a supermodel. She literally is an international supermodel and first lady. A couple of years ago, my wife and I, we were watching The Amazing Race, and they went to Slovakia, which is where Melania is from. Slovakia is like a paradise of European nations. But you know what it looked like? It looked like a magical kingdom, like in a Disney movie. It kind of looked like, what's that? That kingdom in Frozen, Arendelle. I've never seen such a perfect place as Melania's home country. Okay, Mike hasn't told me. I gotta see what time we're coming on. Has anyone's maps updated to Gulf of America yet? Still says Gulf of Mexico. All the maps are wrong. Slovenia? Yeah, she's from Slovenia, right? They went to the one she's from. Whichever one she's from is where they went. Is it Slovenia, Slovakia? Whatever. It's a beautiful place. Stand by. I'm just waiting for Mike to give me the time. And then we're going to get started. I mean, why would you deport Elon Musk? Richest man in the world? You want to deport a brilliant man like that? That's crazy. The Gulf of America. Well, it's got to be soon because it's a minute after. All right, stand by, guys. I'm just waiting for the go-ahead from Mike, the board op at the radio station. I'm going to start with the birthright citizenship because that's pretty important. J6 prisoners. We're going to talk about all of it. And let's see if we can go a show without mentioning Biden or Kamala, the has-beens. Okay, he just gave me the time. 2.5 minutes, and we'll be live on the radio. So those of you that came out to Wings Plus yesterday, thanks so much. Had a great time. The turnout was spectacular at Wings Plus. The dude comes from apartheid South Africa? Yeah. He didn't create it. Oh my goodness. So people are guilty of whatever their countries did in the past? What kind of thinking is that? 2 minutes. We will be live in 2 minutes. Now they'll release them. He was signing those orders late in the night. They were dragging their feet. But you know, those guards at the DC Gitmo that have been dragging their feet, they may find themselves out of work. Trump's not going to put up with that. And we'll be taking your calls. If you want to call in, you're welcome to do that. The number, the toll-free number to call in if you're watching live is pinned in the live chat. All right. Oh, I got to check something here. 1 minute. And then we'll be live. All right. Always do a little sound check. Okay. We got it going. Okay. 45 seconds, and we will be live on the radio. Oh, how exciting. How many of you slept better knowing that the White House is now the home of Donald Trump, that he's our president again? It's crazy. It's hard to believe. It's just absolutely amazing. It's amazing. 20 seconds. All right. 10 seconds. Stand by. Welcome to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig, and man, oh man, oh man, what an inauguration that was. We've got so much to cover. President Trump did so much yesterday. It just blew me away. Plus, we will be taking your calls on everything inauguration related. Anything that happened yesterday is fair game, all right, on the program. Our number is, it's not open phones, it's open phones for anything that happened yesterday, because so much happened yesterday. I'm going to go through a lot, but so much happened that we couldn't limit it to just one or two things. So anything, you are welcome to call in about any and everything that happened yesterday involving the inauguration, which was just spectacular. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, President Trump, he put a post up on Truth Social. He was still working, and it was at 12:38 a.m. or 36 or 38 a.m. Imagine that. Imagine that. You know, President Trump only had half a day yesterday, right, because of the inauguration. He did more yesterday, and this is, I don't think this is an exaggeration. President Trump did more yesterday than most presidents do in 4 years. Everything he did was important, but there's two things I want to mention here in the beginning that are two of the most important that he did yesterday. One, with all these executive orders, he has ended birthright citizenship. This is huge. This is incredibly huge. You know, he ended birthright citizenship. Our country is not just being invaded, it's being colonized right? America is being colonized. The Great Replacement theory is actually the Great Replacement fact. This is what they were doing. And if anyone other than Donald Trump would have become president, it would have continued. Invasion USA would continue. And you know, these leftists that are opposed to colonization, at least that's what they tell you, have been actively colonizing the United States with illegals from South America. And that's ended. You know, this racket that you can come over here and give birth, even if you're pregnant south of the border, not even impregnated in the United States, and you're anchored into this country with an anchor baby, those days are over. And the whole idea that you're a U.S. citizen just because you were born here, your parents gave birth, your mother, I should say, gave birth to you, but she's here illegally, you're not a citizen. And he did away with that. That's huge. The other thing he did, again, everything he did yesterday was very important, and we'll go through a lot of it, but one of the things he did that he mentioned in his speech yesterday, I can't remember if it was I think it was at the inauguration, it was during the inaugural speech, and he signed an order of this in the Oval Office last night, and that is classifying the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. When he said that, I was like, it's about freaking time that was done. It's about freaking time. The drug cartels are terrorist organizations. How many lives have been lost and destroyed because of it? And in his White House press conference, he was asked, I think it was by Ducey from Fox News asked him during that executive order signing Oval Office press conference, which was amazingly historic yesterday. I'm going to play some of that too. But they asked President Trump if that would mean sending U.S. Special Forces after the cartels and taking them out in Mexico. He says, yeah, he said, stranger things have happened. All these just say no, don't do drugs, all this stuff. You got to get to the root cause of it. And, you know, taking out those drug cartels, which he should do, I wonder if they're afraid. Do you think the drug cartels are afraid? Or are they so arrogant that they don't think that the United States will do that? I would think they're afraid, because this is a different guy that's in the White House right now. His name's Donald John Trump, and, you know, he means what he says, okay? And, you know, taking out the drug cartels would be such a great benefit to Mexico and the rest of Latin America because, you know, it's a narco state. The drug cartels control the governments of Latin America, certainly Mexico and Central America. And taking out the drug cartels, that's a beautiful thing. And it should have been done decades ago. And you know what? He's going to do it. Now, the drug cartels, the drugs, while it's a huge business and is causing a lot of problems, the human trafficking has been their main business these last 4 years, and the drugs has almost like become a sideline business. But both of their businesses are going to dry up, and they're going to dry up quick. I hope he starts taking out the cartels yesterday. And this DEI wokester, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, that's biggest concern is diversity among fighter pilots. I'm not kidding. Not having the best fighter pilots, not having the best military, but ethnic diversity and gender diversity among fighter pilots. That guy's got to go. You know, the military that we have in place right now at the Pentagon leading it, they're not going to want to go after the drug cartels in Mexico. They you know, like the rest of these wokesters, they think for some reason that America should be victimized and that the world are entitled to attack us and hurt us and victimize us and do all these things. But when I heard him say that and he signed the order classifying the drug cartels as foreign enemy terrorist organizations, that was, I got to tell you, out of everything he said yesterday, which was spectacular, that was my favorite. If I could pick just one, that was it. I was not even expecting that. Now, those of you that do drugs, you may not be so happy about that because the price of drugs may go up, but that's got to be done. And I mean, how can we go around protecting the sovereignty of Ukrainian borders when we're not even protecting the sovereignty of our borders? And these drug cartels can bring over their slaves that they do with the illegals, the migrants. They can bring over their drugs. China is shipping them the fentanyl to Mexico. The cartels pick it up and then bring it here on the backs of these illegals. We got our country back yesterday. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to go to the calls after the first break. Like I said, it's not open phones today, but I guess I'll call it open phones light. You're welcome to call in about any and everything involving yesterday's events, the inauguration and such. So much happened. There's no way that I could narrow it down to just one or two things because there were so many exciting things, and there's no way that I could go through everything myself. So you're welcome to call in about any and everything involving yesterday's events today. Our number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. You know, I've been telling you guys about Mike Lindell's My Cross. Mike Lindell, he's very well known, not just for inventing that patented fill inside the My Pillow. He's also known for wearing a cross. He wears a cross on the outside of his shirt all the time. You've seen it. And he's now offering that exact cross for sale at mypillow.com at a huge discount with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and free shipping. But listen to this. He's offering $75. There's a version for men and women. They are not sold as a set. They're sold separately. So if you just want the female version or the male version, you can buy just that. You don't have to buy both of them. It's not a set. He is offering them to our listeners for $75 off. Everybody else, it's $50 off. But for our listeners, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, it's $75 off the My Pillow Mike Lindell Cross and free shipping. Now, you got to listen carefully on how to get this extra special deal. This is amazing. You get both of them. That's $150 off and free shipping. Okay? You cannot go to the regular MyPillow website. We have our own private MyPillow website with our own MyPillow deals, and this is where you'll find the $75 off deal on the MyPillow My Cross. Here's the address: mypillow.com/Kane. mypillow.com/Kane. When you go to mypillow.com/Kane, Kane, it'll take you right to our private MyPillow website. And that's where you will find the Mike Lindell My Pillow Cross for $75 off each of them with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and free shipping. So go and order yours. Makes a great gift for yourself. It also makes a great gift for your Valentine's. And Valentine's Day is right around the corner. All right, callers on hold, you stand by. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back. If you're on hold, hang in there. That's the female version, and that's the male version. Isn't that something? It's beautiful, isn't it? mypillow.com/Kane. The link is in the description of the video. You guys watch it on YouTube. mypillow.com/Kane, and use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. $75 off and free shipping on each one of the crosses. Here's the female version. There's Mike wearing his. Pretty good deal, huh? Absolutely. Oh, man, I'm going to go right to the phones when we get back. But you guys agree with me about the birthright citizenship? We are being colonized. Is there any doubt in your mind that we're being colonized? Of course we're being colonized. So ending that's huge. Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes. And classifying the drug cartels as enemy foreign terrorist organizations, that's so huge. Okay, we'll be back in 90 seconds. There are 2 openings on the board. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, I take that back. There's 1 opening on our board. This is our first full day of having Trump as our president. Is that not amazing? Invasion, but really colonizing. That's the goal of the invasion, is to colonize our country. So we're turning back the colonizers, which is what liberals want to do. Less than a minute, we'll be back live on the air. $40 seconds. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. So make sure that you subscribe if you are new to the program. Now my caffeine is kicking in. One opening on the board. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We have one opening on our very busy board at 1-888-465-2631. This is our first full day of Trump's second term, and it feels good. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
You know, what a beautiful morning. I gotta be honest with you. I watched when he was in the Oval Office yesterday, President Trump. I felt like I was sitting in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
He's so relaxed. He talks to the reporters like he's talking to, like I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible. I've missed that, man. That's been 4 years without that happening. It's just a relief. It's like a weight off of our back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this birthright deal that you brought up, I agree with you 100%. But the deal is this, Brian. It's already in the Constitution, and from what I understand, the Dems already got court filings against it.
They're going to listen. Richie. A couple things. One, they're going to have court filings against everything President Trump does. Okay,
right,
you know when he, they're going to have a court filing over the type of toilet paper that he has in the residence. So that's meaningless. So far as the Constitution, Donald Trump.
No, that's why he did it. He did it to get it to court because there's a gray area.
Yeah, President Trump talked about this in his first term. He thinks there's a misinterpretation of that.
Yeah, so they're going to fight out over it in court. But from what I understand, most people think that it's going to have to be voted on to get it over, like that 60% in the Congress.
The same people that thought that he was going to go to jail, for the most part, think that.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Now I want to bring up Elon Musk. They're already attacking him, saying that he had the Hitler sign. I mean, this press that we have is totally outrageous. The guy is enthusiastic. They're trying to say he's thrown out Adolf Hitler salutes. And the reason Elon Musk is in the United States, Brian, you brought up a fact of we talk about equity. There you have equity. You say I don't want to send him back. Well, guess what? You know why he's here? Because of the discrimination in South Africa against white people that changed as soon as the apartheid was ended. Mm-hmm. The fact is that I'm not saying apartheid was a good thing. The Caucasian people in government at that particular time were actually running South Africa properly. There was no crime there. Today, you are unsafe in South Africa because they have people in that government that are not qualified to run South Africa. And they discriminated against white people, and that's why you see South Africans fleeing. Not
just discriminate, they terrorize white people in South Africa now.
Exactly. It's called reverse discrimination, exactly what the crap the Dems wanted to do here. And I hope President Trump takes out Ocasio-Cortez and sues the crap out of her for her comment on him again. ABC didn't learn a lesson, did she? We have people in this. Yeah, we have people in this government that are disgusting.
This weekend, I'm going to be in California this weekend. Maybe I'll bump into President Trump in L.A. But I was talking to my daughter last night. She says, let's find out where Trump is. Let's go see him in L.A.
Wear the hat. You know what you should do?
Hell yeah.
Take the white hat out there.
Oh, I'm not going to
take the one he signed. He'll notice you right away.
I'm not going to take. No. That's a family heirloom. My autographed Trump hat. I'm not taking that anywhere. But yeah. But the weekend after or the weekend after the one, whatever weekend we have good weather when I'm back, I'm going to take a drive from my house over to the Gulf of America. I haven't been to,
but that's another thing. That's another thing. I'll call it the Gulf of America. You'll call it the Gulf of America. But once again, they're saying that it's got to go through United Nations, and they're not going to call it the Gulf of America.
Excuse me. Mexico doesn't call our country the United States. They call it Estados Unidos, right? So a country can call anything what they want to call it, and a huge chunk, of the Gulf of America is in U.S. territorial waters, because we have so much of our border around it, so we can call it whatever we want. That's our right as a sovereign nation.
Right. I'm looking at your background there with the president at the Oval Office, with all those laws that he signed yesterday. This guy's got energy that I've never seen in my life. I sit down, watch TV, I'm ready to sleep already. This guy was up from, can you imagine the time he woke up to start with? Whether he slept good last night or not, because I guarantee you he didn't sleep good. No normal person would sleep good knowing what the next day would bring you, because he knew what was coming. Yet the fact of the matter is that this guy went to so late at night. I haven't seen that in 4 years either.
Oh,
we
no.
had a part-time brain dead person in that seat, and I gotta laugh when his speech. They were all sitting there on the Democratic side. All those presidents, he put them all down, including Joe Biden.
What that was one of our at Wings Plus yesterday, which, by the way, we had a massive turnout at Wings Plus, and it was raining and it was cold, and it was standing room only at Wings Plus. I mean, a lot of good people. We had a handful. You would have liked it, Richie. There was a handful of not so nice people that showed up too. But we had a great time over there. But one of our listeners who goes on our cruises, Irma, she said, this isn't an inaugural speech. This is a roast. He's roasting them. And it was a roast.
How could it, he's got, he doesn't care. It's amazing. He is unfiltered. I love it. I couldn't believe what
and I'll tell you another thing too. I was watching. It was also like, and I know some people have commented on this, said this. It was also kind of like a State of the Union speech, and the Republicans would stand and applaud. The Democrats sat down. When everyone stood up to applaud him because he said that he survived an assassin, the Democrats wouldn't stand up for him surviving an assassin.
They
even
didn't like the fact that he said MAGA at the end.
Yeah, oh my goodness. They were, I mean, it was, I mean, these people, they stood up reluctantly when he talked about saving the Israeli hostages. They reluctantly stood up with that.
You see all those orders that he's got on his desk sitting back of you.
Oh, yeah.
The fact of the matter is that what these people put him through, he put them through. They were so humiliated. Standing up there, I was saying, "Oh my God, listen to this." But he was basically saying, "What all you people did to me, and every one of those presidents, I mean, including Bush and the whole Clinton of all of them, what you did to me. Now it's my turn. You people are incompetent, and you've destroyed the United States."
And when he talked about renaming the Gulf to the Gulf of America. And Hillary looked like a drunken old hag. She looked like a bitter, drunken old hag when she was laughing at that.
She did coming in. She looked like she was on medication, but the other Kamala couldn't crack a smile. She was so bitter.
Yeah.
I mean, uncomfortable. It looked like they had a big bowel movement. I hate to say it, all of them. It was great.
Kamala was just, you could tell, she was like, when will this end? That was the longest. That was the longest, I don't know how long it went, 1 hour, 2 hours, however long. That was the longest hour or two of her life.
Well, his speech was 30 minutes. It was supposed to be 45. They made him cut out a few things, but he didn't know that Biden did, I mentioned him, that he pardoned his whole family. He said if I knew that would have been in there. Because he let...
Not only that, I mean, not only did he pardon his brother and sister, he pardoned his brother-in-law, his sister-in-law. I mean, my goodness.
They're all corrupted. They're all made money on this guy. Yeah. And I'm sitting there watching him yesterday, and when he went with all the
listen, Richie, I'm up on the break, but I got to run, but thanks for the call. All right, now if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and we will be back with more of your calls. And as I say, it's open phones light, meaning you're welcome to call in about any and everything involving yesterday's events. Okay, because so much happened. There's no way. I got some things I've covered, some more things I'm going to cover, but I can't narrow it down just to one or two things. So anything involving yesterday is fair game on the phones. There's two openings on our board at 1-888-465-2631. Back right after this. Now, I want to tell you guys about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. I'm going to give you his cell phone number in a moment, all right? Tom Laporta is a good MAGA guy. If you're in the state of Florida and you need roof repair or replacement, he can help you. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need, meaning that if you just need a simple repair, he will do it. Okay? He works on every type of structure, small single-family homes, residential, commercial, municipal. He can handle the job of any size. If it's one home, one building, or a community that has 250 buildings, he can handle it. He works with every type of roofing material, too. Now, you can find his website online at laportaroofing.com, but your best way to get a hold of him is to call Tom Laporta on his cell phone. And the number on the website is not his cell phone. He only gives his cell phone out to our listeners. You can call or text. And every time I do this, I tell you guys, I text Tom. We were texting last night. So I just take out my iPhone and look at my most recent text and get the cell phone number so that you can call or text. Here's Tom Laporta's cell phone number, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Give him a call, all right? He does great work. We will be back shortly. Every line on the board is lit. Every line on the board is lit, and we'll be going to the phones when we get back. I'm going to go right to the phones. And I'm trying to take the calls to the best of my ability in the order in which they were received. This is oh so exciting. If you're new to my program, make sure that you subscribe, all right? Okay, we have just over 3 minutes and we'll be back. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Does not get better than that, does it? Look at all those executive orders. They're beautiful. I love it. Isn't it crazy that he's back? I mean, you know, it's so surreal that he's back, isn't it? It really is. Everything they put him through. I mean, this guy, Donald Trump, has been through more suffering than any. He's like the Job of presidents. Were any of you at Wings Plus? Did I meet any of you guys at Wings Plus yesterday? We are 2 minutes away. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm taking the calls in the order in which they were received, to the best of my ability. It's, you know, sometimes I lose track. I got a pretty good gauge right now. That's right. As you wake up, Trump is our president. He's probably already up working. Right? You think he's up working already? I bet he is. Oh, and don't forget, he's got the POTUS Twitter, the POTUS X now. Just over a minute, we'll be back. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631, but the phone board's all lit. I have one line less than we have at the radio station on my board here. So a lot of lines. And they're all lit. 1 minute. Look at all those great executive orders. Oh, man. $30 seconds. $20 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Yeah, we're waking up for the first time in 4 years with Donald Trump as our president. Does it not feel good? Oh, man, oh, man. All right, let's go right back to our phones. Every line on the board is lit. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Yes, so after listening to the inauguration yesterday, he didn't seem to go over about inflation and gas prices. That's the only thing I noticed.
That's not true. Yes, he did.
He did.
Sure he did.
Oh, he did? Okay, because there was something when they were talking about him pardoning the people from January 6th.
When he talked about when he talked about drill baby drill, that's lowering gas prices, which will lower all prices.
Okay, but like housing prices, the price of groceries, I don't recall him.
Yeah, he did. When he said we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country in the world, we are going to use it. We're going to drill baby drill. That's him talking about lowering the price of everything. Oh,
okay, I see. Okay, yeah, because they were like on CNN when they were talking about
CNN.
Pardoning that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah, that was the only channel. Because ABC News didn't have anything live. It was just other things, but the only thing they had live on was his.
Of course, they're not gonna say anything good on CNN.
No, of course. I know that's more Democrat. They're more like favored towards like Democrats, and I think Fox News is the one that's more favored towards like that. Fox News is more Republican, and CNN is more Democrat. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you're all straight now.
Yeah. One more thing. So they keep saying about, that's terrible. Like the senator from Massachusetts, she's saying, that's terrible that he's pardoning people from January 6th, and then police officers are on the air saying, I got attacked, I did this, and I am so fed up with him. See, that's what I'm trying to understand. It's like, he's doing all good with everything else, and then now they're going over this negative stuff.
Well, that's good. No, pardoning the J6 prisoners is good. That's a good thing.
No, I know, right. But the ones who, the ones who did attack police officers, and then the police officers are going on and saying that that's terrible that he pardoned.
Well, first off, since when are Democrats in favor of police officers and defending police officers? All of a sudden, they want to be the defenders. Blue Lives Matter, and all of a sudden, the Democrats, right?
Right.
Even if the J6 prisoners were guilty of what they've been accused of, which they're not, but even if they were, they've been in prison for 4 years in a dungeon.
Right.
Many of them have not even gotten their trial, which is a violation of the constitutional right to have a speedy trial.
Exactly, right.
So, how much time? 4 years. My good. Even if they were guilty. By the way, he also pardoned the Proud Boys guy.
Punishment. Yeah, they did their time. Even though the police officers are upset, like, they're gonna. It's like that's like anything else. Yeah, you're right. That guy and whoever that reporter was on CNN. Yeah, just was just all about And then they're saying, we didn't talk about, like you mentioned about drill, and we're under a lot of gold, the gold or something, and and then of course they're trying to like nitpick and try to persuade. So
No, everything he
that's,
did yesterday was spectacular. He even pardoned Enrique,
oh, I know,
the Proud Boys
absolutely,
leader.
Yeah. No, absolutely, yeah. It's just sometimes you gotta. As soon as it's done, turn off the TV, go to another channel and not listen to what these reporters have to say afterwards.
That's right.
Are they ever going to talk positive? Yeah, I just happen to have it on, and they're like, what? It's like, now they're trying to feed it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
They always try to,
Do not watch CNN.
Yeah.
Don't watch CNN or MSNBC.
I know, yeah. It's just that's the only thing that was live for that, yeah, because I don't know. I mean, maybe if I had Fox on, I don't usually watch TV that much. But I just flip, turn on the TV. I'm just like, okay, nothing's live on ABC News or whatever, and so I just figured, all right, let me just.
All right, well, listen, thanks. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Peter from Wellington.
Peter from Wellington. Good to talk to you, Peter.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to get in. I know, it's definitely worth the hold. And as soon as I heard that you came on the radio and I heard the phone number, let me call right away.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
all right.
Other times I can never get through. It's
Well, you got through today.
Right, thanks so much.
All right, thank you. All right, yeah. If you're on hold, hang in there. There's only one opening on the board where Peter from Wellington was at. Our number is toll free, 1-888-465-2631. See how dangerous it is to watch CNN and get your information from CNN? That guy's a MAGA guy. He watches CNN for a few minutes, and all of a sudden they've washed his brain. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, IB. Hey, Brian.
Hey, IB.
Hip, hip, hooray. On a couple of shows back, I had mentioned to you the significance of the Bible that his mom gave him. To see it actually come to fruition, as well as the Lincoln Bible, he will go down in history, but we don't want the other part of the lawfare to go down in history with it as well. I agreed with you and not Steve the other day. And how diplomatic to be in that same room, still be cordial to Biden and Jill, and Kamala and Pelosi doesn't show. Like I said, a fine Swiss watch. He's already done more in 4 hours, technically, even though before that, than Barack and Biden did in 12 years.
That's true. You're right. I appreciate the call. One thing, before I forget, I want to mention this. By the way, one opening on the board where IB was. One thing that Trump did yesterday in his inaugural speech, he thanked all the presidents that were there. He says, I'd like to thank President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama. Notice he didn't, that was very deliberate. He didn't say former President Clinton, former President Obama, former President Bush. He said president. Treated them with the respect because they make this former President Trump, former President, it's disrespectful. And he said president, not former president to them. I thought that was a class act. And also, when President Trump was done speaking, he went over and he shook hands with Biden and he said, thank you, sir. He said to him, thank you, sir. All right, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Debbie in Washington.
Hey, Debbie.
Hey, yeah, I watched the inauguration on Fox yesterday. It was fantastic. In fact, the commentators on Fox, after it was over, talked about how Trump put the sledgehammer down on Joe, Kamala, and the Biden administration.
Oh, yeah. I know, it was beautiful.
Oh, Kamala was seething and couldn't say a word, and Joe looked checked out.
Yeah, Kamala, she looked like she had, taken something. Whether it was booze or Valium or something, I don't know.
She was seething. You could see it in her eyes. She was so bad.
Yeah. Well, listen, who likes to lose? If she lost the national election, and it's the first time in her life she hasn't gotten what she wanted. And she's just cruised through life, with her sugar daddies. She didn't get what she wanted one time, and she's ticked. And then she's got to go on TV and face the music. A normal person would be humiliated with that.
Yeah. And Melania looks so gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that woman she is one of the prettiest first ladies we've ever had.
Oh, not one, She's an international supermodel. No one comes close.
Yeah. Uso looks really pretty, too.
Who? Oh,
J.D. Vance's wife.
I like J.D. Vance's wife. The thing I like about J.D. Vance's wife is she seems like a normal person. Not one of these cookie-cutter Stepford politician wives.
She's really pretty too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never seen her until yesterday.
I don't know why she doesn't dye her hair though. She's got like white hair. It makes her look, her face looks a lot younger than her hair.
Yeah.
Did you see Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, with her wearing a bra? I couldn't believe it.
No.
Yeah, go back and watch.
I missed that one.
She had a bra on with a jacket over it, and the jacket was open in the middle. It was bizarre. I mean,
God.
yeah, this is not one of your Hollywood parties on the yacht. Later in the day, she covered him up, but she had like an open bra. I couldn't believe it. It was very strange.
Yeah, but I just had to call him because I thought it was great, especially just watching Kamala squirm was just the best.
Yeah, well, you can forget about her. She's out. All the vice presidents are has-beens.
Oh, yeah.
She's same thing with Biden. They're both has-beens.
Oh yeah, but he looked like he was just so checked out yesterday. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Well, now that he's not president anymore, whatever they've been giving him to keep him energized, they're not giving it to him anymore. They don't want to be bothered. Jill doesn't want to be bothered. She wants him to go to sleep and not bother her.
Yeah.
All right, Debbie, appreciate the call. Take care. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our last break of the first hour. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. It's so wet and rainy. And, before I found Friendly Tire in Margate, I was driving on tires until I absolutely had to get them. And that's really not safe. When you want tires that have good tread, you're on the wet, rainy roads, you want you and your family to be safe. And I found Friendly Tire, I don't know, it may have been 20 years ago now. He has thousands of used tires in stock, but he has new tires as low as $70 a tire out the door and on the road. And remember, at Friendly Tire in Margate, Friendly Mike, when I say out the door and on the road, what I mean by that is when you call him and he gives you a price quote over the phone, that's the final price. He doesn't charge you to mount the tire, dispose of your tire, balance the tire. There's no other charges. The price he quotes you over the phone, that's the price of the tire. And ever since I found him, I've never been on the road on unsafe tires because the tires are so affordable at Friendly Tire in Margate. Give him a quote. Make sure you give him a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. Make sure you tell him that I sent you because he'll take extra good care of you. Mike, Friendly Tire, and we have listeners that travel pretty far away, over an hour each way, because the prices are so good. Call ahead, he'll give you a quote over the phone. Some of our listeners who drive to Florida for our cruises have stopped at Friendly Tire and bought tires. We've had listeners drive to Florida on vacation, buy 4 new tires and a second set to take back to New York to keep in the garage. The prices are so good. I know. Give them a call. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this. Boy, oh boy. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. If you're on hold, hang in there. There's 2 openings on our board. Okay, we'll be back shortly. Every line on the board is lit. Every line on the board is now lit. Wow. That's amazing. At this early hour of the morning, 6:46 a.m. We're 2 minutes away and we'll be back. Oh yeah, it's a great day. It's exciting. It really is exciting. Oh man, what was your favorite order that he signed yesterday? What do you guys think? I like how he signed the order that there's only two genders. The U.S. government only recognizes two genders, male and female. Oh my goodness! Don't let them get you nervous that they challenge everything in court. They'll just continue on with it while it goes through court challenges, which could take years. So he's just going to keep doing what he does until the Supreme Court tells him he can't do it. They've had court filings prepared because they knew what a lot of these orders were going to be for months. So the court filings mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. 1 minute, we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Every line on the board is lit. It's a new era. We got our country back is what's happened, right? We got our country back. Who would have thought? I mean, it's really a miracle. An absolute miracle. Looking at him sitting in that Oval Office, signing those orders. He's the president again, being treated with the proper respect. It's amazing. 20 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. There's only one opening on our board at 1-888-465-2631. Of course, we're talking about that great day yesterday. Trump is back. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Kenny. How are you?
All right, Kenny.
What an enjoyable day yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoyed meeting you and Rob and people at the table. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
One of the stories I got to share with you relates to the executive order of people returning to the office. My wife had a nephew come in from D.C. on Saturday, and in their discussions going back and forth, since you're both in the medical field, he was somewhat boasting about, he works from home 3 days a week and goes into the office 2 days a week on his little electric scooter and blah, blah, blah. And, he's a super liberal guy, nice fellow.
Yeah.
And yesterday, when he was waiting for his Uber to be picked up, I talked about, what are you going to do tomorrow? Do you have to go in? And he says, that's the problem. We don't know what we're going to do. I said, you're all going to have to go back to work. That's the the executive order. And it was just kind of funny to see the expressions go from boasting to like.
Well, what happened there is, because he's a federal worker, this idea of accountability, he doesn't even know what those words mean, right? So he doesn't even understand. There's no accountability in government. But, part of the reason he's doing that is to get rid of a lot of federal workers, because a lot of them they've been working at home for 4 or 5 years. You think they're going to go back? No way.
Well, he not only is a federal worker, he lives in D.C. and he works for the VA. So he is so entrenched in the liberal train of thought on everything. But I did make some progress with him. I'm trying to convert all the rest of my family, who are all liberals, and the other side of the family, but it's a slow process.
Do you think is he gonna go back to work 5 days a week, or do you think he'll not do it and get fired?
Oh no, he'll do it. He's a pharmacist for the VA, so he's got a good job. I don't think he'd want to jeopardize it. But
no.
It was just kind of amusing.
It's better to do that than be a pharmacist at Walgreens. I feel bad for these pharmacists at Walgreens. A lot of them have PhDs. You don't realize this, and they're working retail. That's why they're so cranky all the time. I'd be cranky too if I was working retail with a PhD.
Yeah, no, he's a smart fella, but he was disappointed. He's going to have to put on his big boy.
How does he work as a pharmacist at home? He's not filling prescriptions then. How's he working as a pharmacist for the government at home?
He filling prescriptions online for the people or nurses that go to homes for maybe the disabled vets or something.
Oh my goodness!
But somehow they're able to do that. It's not like walk-in customers.
So he
like
doesn't.
for
He
home
doesn't
health
mix the
care.
medications.
I'm not sure. I didn't get into great detail of what he did because.
Well, that's just the thing. The thing about it is these federal workers working at home. One thing, it's a security risk because it's easier to hack into their confidential government computer systems if they're working at home. But do you really think they're working? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I have friends that have employees that still want to argue about staying home a certain amount of days a week, and we're old school. We would all come to work. The staying at home stuff just doesn't fly.
Well, it was good to meet you yesterday. You were the guy at the table with Rob and Lay, right? That I was talking to.
Yes, I was sitting across from you.
Yeah. I remember you. All right, it was good to meet you.
Okay, you too, Brian. Take care.
All right, take care. Yeah. I remember him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
I'm looking at the picture you have on the screen with all those executive orders and executive actions sitting in front of Trump there, and it's like, okay, you can darn well know that Trump knows what he's signing. Unlike that thing that came out about Biden through Speaker Johnson, that Biden really didn't know what he was signing a lot of the time.
That's right.
So you got that going on. And look, I didn't exactly know, because I didn't know about JD's wife, but JD's wife is every bit as tall as Melania is. She could actually be a supermodel if she wanted to. I mean, this is a good thing. And look, I love what happened when they were introducing the family as he was fixing to sign
It was great.
Executive actions.
It was great.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was great.
Awesome, and that's the thing. These executive actions are good, and he has to get in touch with these cartographers, these map makers, to get them to change.
Everything's done electronically now. I went on my iMaps and Google Maps this morning. They've not updated the Gulf of America yet.
No,
but
that's the thing. And as far as them going after these drug cartels, I mean, think about it. Where does the CIA get a lot of its money?
I don't know. All right. Hey, Mike, I appreciate the call. I appreciate it. Maybe. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
John, Massachusetts.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, quick question for you. Why was Elon Musk doing the Nazi salute?
He wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. I know that's what you guys see,
yes,
but
he was.
No, he wasn't. In fact, he was.
I don't like Nazis.
Well, I don't like Nazis either. I don't like Nazis either. Nobody likes Nazis.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
What Nazi do I like?
You like Hitler. Trump.
Hitler? Trump's Hitler?
Yeah, your buddy Trump likes Hitler.
What is something that Trump has done that's Hitler-like?
He hates other races.
Other races? There's only one race, the human race. We don't have other races.
Okay.
There's one race, human. We're all human. You don't think blacks and Hispanics are human? Wait a minute. What other races do you think you don't think the blacks and Hispanics and Jews are human? You said other races. Who are these other races you're talking about? You sound like a Nazi. Oh, he hung up. Wow. Isn't that something? There's only one race, the human race, and inside the human race there are multiple ethnicities. But we're all human. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Mike from Houston again.
Hey, Mike. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, what's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to talk about Biden's pardons yesterday. It staggers, it boggles my mind that, Biden issued these pardons to Fauci, Milley,
the unconstitutionally impaneled J6 committee, their staffs, his immediate family. Who wasn't pardoned? Could someone tell me who wasn't pardoned?
Yeah, Colonel Vindman. Colonel Vindman wasn't pardoned.
That's
and,
exactly.
And his wife is freaking out over it.
Yeah, he said something yesterday about feeling incredibly betrayed. And I was like, oh, was that anything like the betrayal we felt when he stabbed President Trump in the back? So I hope Vindman learned his lesson, that politicians like Biden don't give a damn about people like him.
Well, didn't he just get elected to Congress? Vindman just got elected to Congress out of Virginia.
Yes, Virginia 10th. Virginia 10th, I'm an old Virginia resident. They put into power, I honestly don't know where in the geography of Virginia.
It's got to be. It's probably in Northern Virginia. It's probably in Northern Virginia where all the government workers live. But you know the thing about listen, I appreciate the call, man. A great call. I do appreciate it. You know the thing about Vindman that you got. His wife was very vocally upset that they didn't get the pardon for her husband. And you know the thing about Vindman, you know he was born in the Soviet Union. They say in the Ukraine, but it was part of the Soviet Union then. And you see the disruption he caused. Remember, Ukraine asked him to lead their army, right? And I've always wondered if Vindman is a spy. Have any of you ever wondered that? Is Vindman a spy? That's something I've wondered about. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff. What's on your mind?
I watched that whole inauguration and the presence of God and the praise and him being mentioned all the time by so many people was so refreshing to see our Christian nation, the people within our country that are Christians, stand up. And one of the most mistakes that happened that turned out to be great was when they couldn't cue Carrie Underwood's music.
Mm-hmm. And she did a cappella. No, well, we lost you. We lost Jeff there. But I'll tell you this. Donald Trump's our president, and he's doing a great job. I want to tell you guys about the Mike Lindell MyPillow Cross, because we've got just an incredible deal on this that will just blow you away. I am very excited about this. I just found out about this over the weekend. If you go to our private MyPillow website, which is mypillow.com/Kane, mypillow.com/Kane, Kane, with our promo code Kane at checkout, not only do you get free shipping, but you get $75 off the Mike Lindell Cross. If you just go to the regular MyPillow website, it's just $50 off. And this $75 off is exclusive to our listeners. So go to mypillow.com/Kane, Kane. The MyPillow Cross, it's the same one Mike Lindell wears. There's a version for men and women. They are not sold as a set. They're sold individually. So it's $75 and free shipping off of each of them. So if you buy both, it's $150 savings. So go to mypillow.com/Kane, Kane, for the $75 off the Mike Lindell MyPillow Cross. Great, great gift for yourself or your Valentine. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. 1 hour down, 2 to go. Call us on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this. I'm just answering some emails. Oh, how exciting, huh? You guys excited? Yeah, that's the one for men, and then let's see here. That's the one for women. And it's $75 off each with our promo code Kane at checkout. Kane. Great deal. Okay. We'll be back in just a minute. I'm texting with people. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on. I'm texting with Mike at the radio station. Mike the board up, he's at the radio station running all the commercials, handling the traffic, handling the weather. He's coordinating with me what time we're breaking and when we're going to be back. You know, he's running things from the same spot that I'm normally standing in. Less than a minute, we'll be back. Stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. There's 2 openings on the board at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Yep, Mike is a good guy. There we go. 25 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio as we welcome in our 47th president. Wow, what a great day. So, of course, we're talking about everything involving all of the great events from yesterday, and it is... I'm calling this Open Phones Light. It is open phones so long as it relates to any of the events yesterday. I brought up a few of the highlights. I've got more that I'm going to bring up, but so many things happened yesterday that are worthy of discussion. I couldn't nail it down to just a couple things. So you're welcome to call in about anything and everything on your minds that happened yesterday. All right? Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Ray of Sunrise.
Oh, hey, Ray. It was nice to see you at Wings Plus yesterday.
Yeah. You know, Brian, yesterday was not just, the inauguration, man, not just a great celebration of President Trump, the MAGA movement, conservatism, a recognition of God's blessings on America.
No doubt.
That, of course, is the highlight. But yesterday was also a celebration of the Steve Kane Show.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned early on the program the standing room only turnout at Wings Plus. All the people that we know from the cruises and everybody that calls you in, it's a tribute to you and Steve. People turned out, not just for the inauguration, but to thank you. And I want to thank you for the great work that you and Steve do. I mean, 48 years. I mean, how can you top that?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Ray, I was so touched when I got there because, yesterday was cold, it was rainy, and I was on my way over there, and I told Steve, I said, well, it's cold, it's raining, You know, I was driving over there. It was, you know, not my favorite day to be on the road. And all of you that came out, it was moving. It was really amazing.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
And you know, people continually just came up to Steve and his lovely wife Laura was there, you know,
Yep.
and you, and they came up to you continually to have a picture taken with you, to thank you personally. That to me was also a highlight of the day.
Yeah,
And,
it was nice.
I pray for President Trump in America every day. But I pray for the Steve Kane Show and for you and Steve all the time, Brian.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, I want to tell people in the audience, Ray from Sunrise here, who goes on all of our cruises, including the one in March, and he goes by himself. He's single. You know, sometimes you'll hear me call, instead of rhinos, call these anti-Trump people rats, Republicans against Trump. Ray's the guy that came up with that, rats, Republicans against Trump, not me. And I've been trying to get that one to catch on.
Well, that's nice of you to say that, Brian, but it's Republican anti-Trumpsters, then you get the S in there also.
Yeah, you could.
But
you
got
could.
the right
I think Republicans
right
against
idea.
Trump it flows better.
Yeah, that's easier. That's easier to say, but if you get the rats for the, we're not going to argue about that, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's
But,
plural.
you know,
The S
it
is,
was
yeah, I
really
get it.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, go
All
ahead.
the people from the cruise and everything there, but the way people came up and shook your hand and Steve's hand and wanted to have their picture, wanted to memorialize the fact that you were there and the program and say, this is our celebration. It's the inauguration and President Trump's celebration, but that was a great
You know,
day
I got to tell you,
for the
you
Steve
guys,
Kane
yesterday, you guys, everybody in this audience that came to Wings Plus, you made me look so good. I was coincidentally, my uncle was there having lunch. He was working. He was on his lunch break from work. He had no idea I was going to be there or anything. He was just he goes there for lunch sometimes. And my uncle was there, and he saw all these people coming up to you know, people of my family haven't seen that before, right? You know, listeners and taking their picture with me and talking to me. So I'm sure the word has passed through my family of what a big deal I am. I appreciate that, guys. You made me look good to my family.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was
You know,
nice.
and, you know, you highlighted the two things also about the drug cartels being
Oh,
named
that's
a
huge.
terrorist organization.
That's huge.
And that colonization, that birthright, that has always given me a problem. When I taught it, we used to say invasion and succession, but you used the term colonization. Same idea.
Yeah.
That I don't know how the heck anybody could ever go along with that concept. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's insane.
But this whole thing, we have got to close the border. We have got to prosecute these people.
Well, that amendment, you know, and you know,
people.
listen, of course they're going to challenge that in the court. That birthright, the purpose of the birthright, I can't remember offhand what amendment it is. You probably know, Ray. Is it which amendment is that? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But, you know, the reason that amendment was put in place was for two groups of people, the freed slaves and the Native American Indians, to establish that the Indians and the freed slaves were U.S. citizens. And at the time, there was a question about
Absolutely.
that. And that's what, it wasn't about people from Guatemala coming here pregnant and dropping a baby.
Right.
You know?
And they get everything, benefits. But
Yeah, it's the 14,
key point about all of that is that anyone who crosses the border illegally is a criminal.
That's
is
right.
An invader.
Mm-hmm.
They're enemy combatants.
That's
They're
right.
terrorists right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. That's correct. All right, Ray, well, it was good to see you, and I'll see you on the cruise in a couple months.
Great.
All right, take care.
Couple months, must be there. Very
All right,
good.
all
Good
right.
to see you guys.
All right, take care. Yeah, you know, Ray comes on all the cruises, and he's single. He comes alone. And people ask me that sometimes. Can they come alone? Of course you can. Just ask Ray. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Wow. Man, what a party yesterday, man. That was, the first inauguration was great, but this one was so much better. Everybody was so happy. I talked to a million people over there. Everybody, some of the women were crying when he got inaugurated. Man, this is, what a time, what a time.
You know, Conservative Doug, you know, when Steve and I do appearances, people give me stuff constantly, and if you were there, you may have seen me. I keep putting things in my pockets. It's because people give me things. People give me envelopes and articles and gifts and clothes, and people give me stuff, which is nice. And I am so busy, I didn't go through this stuff until this morning. And you gave me something, and then I was very surprised. I opened this up. You gave me a CD. You're a musician. You wrote, produced, and performed a song about me.
That's
And I have a CD player in my old car, and it's very good. I went out and I played it. I played it on my CD player this morning in my old car. I appreciate that, Doug.
Did you, I said gave you the words so you can see the words.
I do. You gave me the lyrics written out, and that was nice. Yeah, I appreciate that. I cannot play it on the radio though, because we can't play the music on the radio. But I do appreciate it, and this will, this is the first time someone's given me a song about me.
I thought the words were right on the money.
It was great. Yeah, it's great.
Hope you enjoed it.
I will. I might read the lyrics on the air sometime, but maybe not today, but another time.
No. Anytime you want, whatever.
No, I appreciate it.
The other thing is, I was talking to Steve. Man, he looked great yesterday, man. He looked like no pain anymore. He looked like, I know he has little problems walking, but sitting there, he looked great. He was wide awake. Man, he was great. So
Steve and I are lucky. We have sponsors that take care of us, right? Right. We got Lighthouse Medical for Steve's neuropathy. We got Dr. Appleton for the pain. So we have doctors that keep Steve and I in shape.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, whatever it is working great. I know. The neuropathy. I sent a friend of mine to get it fixed, and his neuropathy is all better too.
That's awesome.
These people, you got great sponsors. Matter of fact, I just had Pamela Porter at my house. I'm going to change my roof.
Really? Wow, that's great. Thank you.
I told him he's definitely going to get the job.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, you should. You're such a good singer. You should come on the cruise. I'll give you the. We'll set up a thing you can perform for our group.
I didn't know you had a way to do that. But
yeah, of course we got a way to do that. Yeah. We'll take over the karaoke, and you can do a little. You can sing a couple of songs.
That'd be interesting. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great time, man. I'm glad to see you. I would have liked to talk to you more, but they brought my food out too.
Doug, you talk to me. You talk to me more than like people in my family. You're so chronic.
About live in person. I had a couple of things I wanted to tell you.
Oh.
I couldn't have the time because I had the food, and if I don't bring it home hot, I never hear the end of it, so I had to go.
Okay. Well, it's good. It was good to see you, Doug, and thanks for the music.
Have a good.
All right. All right. Take care. Yeah, he actually gave it to me. I'm not kidding, Doug. He wrote, produced, and sings. He performs the song, and it's a song about me. And he gave it to me on a CD, and he also gave me the lyrics printed out, which I have over here too. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the second hour. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. Yeah, I can't play this song on YouTube or here it is upside down, so you can see it there. Okay. I can't play this on YouTube or the radio because of the music, but I'm going to upload it on my Patreon page. So if you're one of my Patreon supporters, you'll get to hear it. I was trying to upload it before the show. I don't think I have to do it after. Unless it's up there now. Let me see. No, it's not there yet. I'll put it up there. I'll try to. Yeah, I got to do it after the show. Less than a minute, we'll be back. Yeah, 1 minute, actually. I just looked. 1 minute. We'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Ten seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. And, of course, we're talking about everything exciting that happened yesterday. I still am pinching myself that Donald Trump is the president of the United States again. We watched the inauguration together at Wings Plus, and when I came home yesterday, I watched it again. And I was tearing up, man. I was tearing up. Weren't you? I was. I'm not embarrassed to say it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, how you doing? My name's Andy. How are you, buddy?
All right, Andy.
Doing well. Hey, how about yesterday, man? I've always been a proud American and a huge Trump supporter. You should see my hat collection.
I'm sure mine is bigger. I have the biggest MAGA hat collection probably in South Florida.
Okay, so I'm in North Idaho, in Coeur d'Alene. I don't know if you heard that little...
You know, Black Lives Matter has been working to get you guys to change the name of that state. They say it's racist.
It ain't happening, brother.
You know what I mean? If you say it to yourself, you know what I mean. I'm surprised. Anyway,
I might be running for city council. We'll
city council in Idaho? Oh my goodness.
You betcha. Hey, so yeah, I have flags in my cars and trucks every day of the week, man. I have since March 2020.
You have what? You have what?
Flags.
Flags. Oh, okay, I couldn't understand what you said. Okay. You know, I'll tell you, I don't, on my old car, I have, a Trump sticker on the back, but on my new car, I don't, because, maybe it's different in Idaho, but Democrats will vandalize your car if you have Trump merch on it. They'll vandalize it. I've had it happen. That's how tolerant they are.
I've had a propane tank get stolen from my carport 2 nights ago. That's the first thing in a long, long time over here. But anyway, I'm going to track that guy down. We'll find him. But
okay.
Anyway,
all right. I appreciate it. Yeah. I once lived in a small town here in Florida, and if something got stolen, everybody knew who it was. Like I remember my dad had a trailer hitch stolen. We were going fishing in my dad's bass boat. My dad, he came out, he hitched up the boat, he came back in the house, and then we go outside, and the hitch was gone, and the boat trailer was leaning on the ground. And it's kind of like Batman, every time there's a crime, they know, the Joker, the Riddler. And we knew when you live in a small town and something goes missing, you know who did it. It's just the way it is. All right, thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Alan calling from American Samoa again. How you doing?
America Samoa. All right, great to hear from you.
Yeah, same here, my brother. Same here. Hey, I just want to say, we all watched the inauguration yesterday. Of course, my time difference from 6 hours time difference. Right now, it's almost 1:30 here. I think it's 6:30 your time.
7:20.
Anyway.
7:20.
Oh, 7. Okay, you're 6 hours. 6
Mhm.
hours. Okay, yeah. Anyways, it's just the pardons that Biden did. I mean, who pardons people that never been in court yet? I don't think they ever been to court, been tried.
Criminals. I mean, he even not only did he pardon his brother and sister, he pardoned his brother-in-law and his sister-in-law. I mean, it's those. What he did is gave us a list of those were indictments, not pardons.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
But I'm glad he did it. Let me tell you. Those
Me
big,
too.
I'll tell you why, and then you can share your thoughts. But
Really?
these big name people were not going to go to jail. Liz Cheney and they were never going to go to jail. Not going to happen. And Biden doing that highlighted their crimes, including Adam Schiff, by the way, who got pardoned. And he told us they were criminals, and Trump didn't have to waste time and energy doing that himself when none of them were going to end up in jail. So Biden, he did us a favor with that indictment list.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. That I totally agree with you there. I totally agree with you there. And also, one more thing, just if you don't mind, please. You mentioned about a cruise. You're doing a cruise, right?
Every year we do a listener cruise. Yeah, our next cruise is March 30th.
Oh, my birthday is March 2nd. But, I think if I'm not mistaken, one of your callers said that he sings or something. And, you invited him.
Conservative Doug, yes, conservative. Sometimes like Richie the bus driver is a blackjack pro. He's like a riverboat. He goes on cruises just to gamble. And on one of our cruises, I got a conference room with an ocean view, and he gave an entire class to our listeners that were on the cruise on how to play and win at blackjack. And he went out and got a full deck of cards like magicians have that are like those humongous cards that are like a foot tall.
Like tarot cards.
Yeah, they're like a foot tall. It was great. Yeah, so we do things like that sometimes.
Oh yeah, the reason why I'm saying is
you sing?
When I did in Southwest Florida, I had my own Polynesian group back in the 80s and
cool.
90s. And we performed at South Sea Plantation, Captiva Islands, Yosepa, downtown Fort Myers Beach, Lanikai. And I was a fire dancer. So
oh, my goodness.
I was like, do you need a fire dancer on the cruise?
I don't know if they'd let fire. I don't know if they'd let us do a fire dance. Maybe without the fire.
Yeah, well.
You could dance while Doug sings.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get the information later. I mean, I know you're busy man, and I thank you so much for your time, and it's always nice talking to you, my brother.
All right, take care.
I'll get with you on that.
All right. Well, hey, by the way, is it America Samoa or American Samoa?
Yeah, American Samoa.
American Samoa. Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, or in Samoans, we call it America Samoa.
Okay. And it's
that's Samoan for American.
All right. Well, it's good to hear from you from American Samoa.
Samoa. Pongo.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Take care. Good to hear from you. Oh, my goodness. It just blows me away. We get calls from all over the world. That's amazing to me. Let's take some more calls before we break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Andy. I just called a minute ago. But
one call per show, Andy. One call. No. One call per show. If I let you get away with it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning, Brian. I hope you can hear me. This is Danielle calling from Michigan.
I can hear you, Danielle. Absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm at work, so I can't talk real loud. I just wanted to say good morning. What a wonderful, beautiful day. I cried yesterday. I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing. I hope you guys enjoyed your time at Wings Plus, but I just wanted to say good morning, and it's a wonderful day.
It sure is.
If it's below zero. It's a beautiful
below zero. Oh my God! Move to Florida. Oh, yeah. Move to Florida. Get out of Michigan.
Bless your heart. But anyways, it was wonderful. Yesterday is just. I was in tears.
Me too.
I watched it all the way until midnight. And I fell asleep because I had to get up early for work.
You went to bed at midnight, and you're at work. You're in Central Time, so it's only 25 after 6 for you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm here early.
Well, listen, I appreciate the call, but try to stay warm. All right.
Bless your heart.
All right, take care. Take care. At Wings Plus yesterday, I met so many of our listeners who are pain-free, thanks to Dr. Appleton. A guy with his hip, someone with their back, a neck, an arm. I mean, people keep showing me their body parts one guy said, I would not be able to come to this if it were not for Dr. Appleton. I met, I don't know, between 6 and 10 listeners yesterday who were telling me they're pain-free. One guy, he says, it really works, Brian. I was like, yeah, I know. What do you think I've been lying to? Of course I know. It really works. Someone said, can I see your finger where you had the arthritis? I held it up. I said, see, no more arthritis. Yeah, it's really amazing. And, it's cool for me that I have a small part by just giving you some word of mouth about the great work that Dr. Appleton does with his laser wave pain treatment. With the laser wave pain treatment, there are no drugs, no medications. That's amazing, isn't it? No shots, no injections. It's 100% painless. There's no downtime. And of course, it works. Rid me of pain 7 times. And I don't know, maybe 10 listeners yesterday with different body parts. I'm learning about new types of pains and body parts all the time from listeners of ours. It was great to see you all there. And I'm so happy that you are pain-free. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain, too. You know, Dr. Appleton, walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are never necessary, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back. Be right back, guys. So I'm after the break. I haven't gotten any of the audio. Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you, thank you. Thank God for yesterday. Absolutely, Wesley. Thanks for that super chat, Wesley. Okay. That was Mike texting me what time we're coming back from the break. Wesley, another $2 super chat. Thank you so much. And that he's back. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. Is Barron done growing, you think? Can he grow more? Is it possible for him to grow more? I don't know. Less than a minute. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Welcome, one and all. And, of course, we are celebrating today the first full day of President Trump. It is Open Phones Light, which means any and everything that's on your mind related to yesterday's events is fair game. I brought up some things early in the show that I'm very excited about that President Trump is doing, but so much happened. President Trump did more. He only had 12 hours yesterday. You know, he was sworn in at noon. And how many of those hours were filled up with speeches and ceremonies, right? And rubber chickens and dancing and stuff. And still, when he had just a short amount of time yesterday, and I do not believe this is an exaggeration. I think President Trump did more in 12 hours filled with speeches, parties, and things than most presidents do in 4 years. I think he did that much yesterday. So since he did so much, I can't focus it on just one or two things. So it's open phones so long as it's related to yesterday's events. All right? Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Frankie from Fort Lauderdale. How are you, man?
All right, Frankie. What's on your mind, man?
Hey, that was one of the best inauguration ceremonies I've ever watched in my life.
No doubt.
To have it, it was just A1. But I'll tell you who stole the show with that. Baron Trump.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that he is a man of little words, but I'm telling you, you're going to hear a lot about Baron Trump coming down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he took a lot of heat when he was younger, which was totally...
Well, Rosie O'Donnell said some terrible things about him. He was like 11.
Yeah, you never go after the kids. I mean, you know, they started with Amy Carter back in the day, and, you know, leave the kids out of it, you know, unless your last name is Biden.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to touch on one thing, too, in regards to immigration. I worked up in a produce packing plant up in Loxahatchee a couple of years ago, and the so-called immigrants, they're all brought in from Mexico and Central America on a work visa.
Yeah.
And they're also incentivized if somebody bails and, you know, decides they're going to stay, the owner of the company gives them a $15,000 reward for information. Now, that deters, you know, people from jumping ship. But the problem they had with that was they were conspiring together and said, okay, well, you go and I'll rat on you, and then we'll split the money. So they had to kind of straighten that out. But these guys and gals, families, they do not like the so-called border jumpers coming over.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole myth that, oh, it's going to hurt our agriculture and this, that, and the other, it's all a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, they say, you know, because how long ago did you work in that industry?
It was about 2 years ago.
Okay, so you're up to. Okay, so you're.
From the high school.
Oh my goodness, that goes way. Yeah. Okay, so that means you're in the know of what's going on today. They say that, well, without all the illegals, who's going to do all this work? First off, it's a lot more automated probably than people realize. The fruit picking business.
Well,
or not?
No, it's in fact the companies. It's if you go into Publix or Walmart, the peppers they're in the bag.
Yeah.
And such. It's all hand packed.
Okay.
And the trucks come in, they dump them. It's all big conveyor belt. Anything hits the floor goes, and then they use it for compost or to feed the animals.
Well, so without the illegals, will those businesses be able to function? Because the border's closed now. President Trump closed the border. Will they be able to do?
These are, you know, the the guy, the company that contracts all these people, they're all legit. And, because, when I first started working, I started talking to them, like, you worried, you got papers and this and that.
Papers.
And they do not like the non-documented. They start talking about the non-documented, man. They go, no, they're taking our money. They're taking our money. And I think they get like an hourly wage, and then their housing and transportation is paid for. But they get paid like per box that they
oh my goodness.
It's a real fascinating.
That's old school stuff.
Industry. But this whole thing that, it's all illegals picking our crops, maybe in California, but not in Florida.
Really? Okay, so they're people they're immigrants that are in for those seasonal work visas.
Absolutely.
And then they go back.
But man, we dodged a bullet.
No doubt.
Cackler, getting her out of here. Well, actually, Trump dodged a bullet. But man, I'm telling you, I was never so on edge.
Oh, I had no worries. I had no worries.
Yeah, I would. No
I had no worries whatsoever all year. And I don't know why that is. I don't, people ask, but I was 100% confident. 100% confident.
I know Steve was like giving you a lot of business about it, but
I'll tell you why. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. One of the reasons I was confident when I think about it is I was following Trump's lead, and I would tell this to Steve. Does Trump look worried? Is he putting himself out there to lose? I don't think so. I guess I got a lot of confidence in the president, and it's well-placed confidence. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Nick from Baltimore.
Hey, Nick.
Very cold Baltimore.
Oh.
It's in the teens. I had a question. Well, my favorite moments were the stopping the censorship, and of course the J6.
Well, let's just for a second. Let's talk about the censorship. That's a little vague. What does that mean exactly? That means like the government can't conspire with media and social media companies? I don't know what that means exactly.
But I think that's what it means.
Yeah.
I think that's what it means. It prohibits the government from getting together with the media companies and social media to censor Americans.
Yeah.
And of course the J6 release. But I had a question, and I promise I'll get on. One more thing, though, but all the J6ers being released they're in different prisons around the country. So when he signed that order, I noticed he told the guy, make sure that goes over to the Bureau of Prisons.
Right now.
Do they transmit that also throughout the country?
Well, I'm sure it's in the federal prison system, but when these prisoners get spread out, it may be hard to find some of them. But one of the pardons was for Enrique, the Proud Boys leader, and the last I read, he was being processed to be released. I don't know if he's been released yet, but he's more famous, so it's easy to find him.
Yeah, but I understand it. A lot of them will be processed today. That's what they were saying last night out of Fox in Washington.
They're slow walking it. They're slow, But I'll tell you something though. We're gonna find an Abu Ghraib kind of situation in this DC gulag. Now that they're pardoned, they can talk because they've really been abusing them hardcore. And I've heard there was one of the guards was a BLMer and would walk through harassing them wearing BLM shirts and stuff. So when these guys, now that these guys are pardoned, they're free to talk. They don't have to worry about some appeal or something, or So we're going to hear of prisoner abuse in this country that you wouldn't think would happen in America.
And yes, and there's going to be a lot of lawsuits too. But the problem, the same is that you can't bring back the people that committed suicide. And that's a very
and by the way, a lot of these guys, they've lost their businesses, their homes, everything. You can't get that back either. It's sad.
Yeah, you can't. And the final thing I wanted to slip in here was, remember the guy, one of your callers before a few calls back mentioned about Elon Musk doing that Hitler salute.
Yeah.
I saw a guy, one of my Facebook friends, same garbage, and he had a very threatening message, go ahead and so I unfriended the guy. This guy's a broadcaster. These people are crazy. I watched that whole thing yesterday.
Well, that thing that he did, I'm not going to do it because I'm live streaming on YouTube, and someone will take a screenshot and say I did it. But the way what he did is, I saw photographs of Kamala and Hillary and other Democrats doing it. It's a thing that people do on stage. They stretch their arms out that they have, that they're excited or they've won or something. It's very common for people that are speaking on stage to do that. But that's, it's like when President Trump said about Megyn Kelly, bleeding out of her eyes, ears everywhere, and then they started thinking dirty. These Democrats, that's where their mind is.
They twist everything, and the thing is, they are done, Brian. They are done, and I'm so energized by this. I really am. I'm motivated to do things, and I feel a lot better about myself, and it's given me energy, and I feel a lot better.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's just really wonderful. This is a great show. By the way, I love it when you do it from the house because the show flows better.
Oh, does it? You think so?
Relaxed.
At my new studio that I have here? Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good. I like when you put the cats in there, too.
Okay. All right, appreciate it, Nick. All right? All right, take care. Take care. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Okay, Friendly Tire in Margate. I found Friendly Tire really out of necessity. I had a Jeep Wrangler about 20 years ago. I got a great deal on this Jeep Wrangler. I always wanted one. And when I got it, the price, I couldn't believe the great price I got. And when I had to get tires the first time, I found out why. It was the one with the soft top and the massive four-wheel drive tires. And I went to the regular tire places, and I couldn't believe it. It was almost, the tires they were charging me for almost as much as what the vehicle was worth. I couldn't believe it. And I found Friendly Tire in Margate out of necessity. He has new tires for common-sized tires on some of the most common vehicles on the road today, brand new, as low as $70 a tire out the door and on the road. He has all the name brands you know and love, and the tires are great. When my daughter moved to California just over 2 years ago, 2 years and a month ago, I got 4 new tires on her car at Friendly Tire, Firestone. I'm a Firestone guy. I don't know why. But everybody has their own. Some like Pirelli, some like Bridgestone, whatever brand you like. I like Firestone. That's kind of what I grew up on. And I shipped her car to her out in California. Didn't drive out there. I shipped it to her, but I got 4 new tires on that car. And I was talking to my daughter this week because I'm going out there, and I said, "Hey, how are the tires? Do you need to?" She says they look great, and she's driving the Pacific Coast Highway. She's driving out in the desert. She's driving all over L.A., and the tires are great, like new. And I said, "Okay, you sure? I'll get you new tires. I don't want to buy those. I'm used to the Friendly Tire prices, and there's no Friendly Tire in L.A." But she says, "No, Dad, the tires are great. Yeah, I don't need tires. The Friendly Tire has great tires, great prices. Give him a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. When you call Friendly Mike, tell him what you're looking for. If you got a car with run flats, one of my cars has run flats. Great deals on run flats. And remember, the price he quotes you over the phone is out the door and on the road, because he doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. There's no added fees. So the price Mike gives you over the phone is the final price. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back. Great calls today, by the way. I got to tell you, great calls. Steve will be joining us in the next hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. Okay. We'll be back in less than we'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, man. What a day. Just an exciting day, isn't it? It is an exciting day, no doubt about it. Great calls today. Have you noticed, though? We've got one liberal, the one that said Trump's not Hitler, you know. Only one liberal. Where are our liberals? "90 seconds. If you're new to the program, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk, as you can tell. 1 minute. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. And we're talking about the great events yesterday. You know, President Trump, late last night, he went to the White House and the Oval Office, and what he did was so amazing and so historic. He sits down at his desk with all those executive orders. The press are there, and not only is he signing the executive orders, he has an impromptu, unscheduled press conference right there live as he's doing it, and they're asking anything they want to ask, and he's answering it. And it was some really good conversations. I wanted to play a little bit of it. Does anyone know who the gentleman was that was handing Trump the executive orders? And he would explain to them what they were. I don't know who that guy is, but he's great. He's very polished, very proper. I like that guy, whoever he is. But this is a little bit of that press conference. Wow. Isn't this something? Yeah, the marker's back. And then it is a big one. But this is amazing. We just saw a president giving an order in action. How many times have you seen that in your life? He just told the guy, he said, hey, can you get that order transmitted so we can get them out tonight? He said, yes, sir, and it's done. It's done. Okay, then let me fast forward a little bit. then he starts talking with Ducey about some things involving the border. This is so historic. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Not live on television. Great signature on these orders. So now the questions are going to come in, and these are random questions. This press conference, I love it. Now, Ducey's going to come in and start with some questions here in just a moment. That's why here we go. I mean, when have you seen something like this? And the answer is never. Never, never, never. And there was one moment there, he told somebody with the camera to move. He didn't want them on his side. He says, move over. When have you seen a president actually be president like this? You know, these other presidents, if you're on hold, stand by. These other presidents, they don't govern. They're just spokesmodels, basically, is what they are. But President Trump, we're actually seeing him in action. This is so amazingly historic. We are so blessed that we're living through the most remarkable presidency in the history of the United States. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Scotty from Jupiter.
Hey, Scotty, what's on your mind?
Hey, I'm just thinking, I know that President Trump is as mad as we are that all the hostages were not released. He told them release all the hostages by yesterday, and I know they're not very smart or they don't care.
No, that was addressed. Was addressed in the different speeches yesterday.
Excited to see
No. They've got an agreement. They're releasing them on some type of schedule. We don't know all the details of it. There's some type of schedule.
Yeah, but he said release them all on the 20th.
Well, if they've come up with,
he doesn't usually lie, and he says what he means.
What do you mean doesn't usually lie? Trump never lies.
They're in big trouble. I think they're in big trouble.
Trump never lies.
And you know that's right. But I'm just saying, I think there's going to be a big. I think they're in big trouble.
Well, if he's agreed to this schedule, I mean, it's not perfect, but that's fine too.
He didn't agree to nothing. I don't think he agreed to nothing.
We'll find out.
He told them release them by the 20th. All of them.
No, well, yesterday, but
three.
No.
Three.
But yesterday, I heard President Trump say that they have a schedule release date on these other ones. That they've done some scheduling.
Yeah. 6 weeks, 16 weeks, 33 over. But he said Trump said release all of them or else.
Well, but it looks like he may.
We'll see what happens.
It looks like he may have agreed to a scheduled release for whatever reason. All right, I appreciate the call. We're just going to go around on that. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm the Mike that called. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mike in Las Vegas. What's on your mind, Mike in Las Vegas?
2 points. When Trump brought up the deal about
you got it. What's that noise in the back? You got to turn down whatever that noise is in the background. Are you in a Vegas casino or something? It's pretty loud back there.
No, I'm at home.
All right. Well, whatever I hear in the background. You got to turn it down. All right, then he turned it up. I mean, what an idiot. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Ivan.
What's your name?
Calling from Ivan.
Ivan. What's on your mind, Ivan?
Yeah. Do you obviously you guys have Trump supporters, right? Are you willing to engage in a good faith conversation or not?
I always have good faith conversations. Every conversation is in good faith with me.
Oh, okay. So, Trump was mentioned have all these executive orders and all this legislation that is trying to pass by Greenland, get the Panama Canal, make Canada. Well, he didn't know anything about Canada, but he wants to use drones to go after Mexico.
I'm having a hard time understanding you with your. Hold on a second. I'm having a hard time understanding you with your funny accent. So say that over again, a little slower.
He wants to buy the Panama Canal.
No, we're not going to buy the Panama Canal. We are entitled to take it under treaty with Panama. We gave. Impossible. No, it's not impossible. We gave that canal is ours. We built it. Over 5,000 Americans died building it, and when we gave it to Panama, it was with under a treaty that has a number of conditions. One of the conditions is that Panama must keep the Panama Canal secure. If they don't keep it secure, we can take it back. It's being run by China. That's an enemy of America. It is not secure. So by treaty we can just take it.
I gotta stop you right there. You say you want to engage in good faith.
Yeah.
That's what you say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, there's no clause in the agreement.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I read them when this came up a couple weeks ago. We have two treaties. Are you Panamanian? What kind of accent is this?
Yeah. I'm Panamanian. So
get used to it. We're taking back the canal from you guys. All right, deal with it. We have two treaties with your country. Okay, involving the canal, and they allow us to take the canal back under U.S. control if you don't protect it. Why are you letting China run the Panama Canal? What's wrong with you?
China is not running the Panama Canal.
Yes, they are.
Keep believing what Trump is telling you.
Yeah, because he's my president and he never lies.
Any evidence of that?
Yes, I do.
So who is the one that is running the Panama Canal right now?
China. Chinese companies are running it. Who cares? I don't even know who your president is. I know who my president is, and my evidence is.
Why are you engaging in a conversation that you don't know the facts?
I do know the facts. You guys in Panama have given the canals control to China. Our president says he's not going to allow that. Listen, I gotta run for the break, but I'm gonna put you on hold. I'm gonna put you on hold. We'll be right back. Oh, he hung up. I put him on hold, and he hung up. I put him on hold, and he hung up. Hey, what's going on? Okay. Let me hear some. All right, that sounds much better than yesterday. All right, I'm going to... yeah. I won't be quite as loud to you, but you'll hear me. But you'll be fine. I don't know. You're going to hear music, but when you hear my voice, you'll be on, okay? Oh, I put that guy from Panama on hold, and he hung up. Steve, are you there? I'm gonna hang up and call you back. I'm gonna put you on a different line. Okay? So I'm gonna call you right back. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, we'll be back in about 90 seconds. Hold on. I put that guy from Panama on hold, and he hung up. I was going to put him on with Steve. No, I love people that disagree with me. I had a pretty good idea. As soon as he mentioned Panama Canal, he was Panamanian with the accent. I'll put him back on. If you watch, he can call back. I'll put him back on with me and Steve. You can call back in. 30 seconds about, a little more than that. Welcome back. Hour number 3 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Steve Kane joining us. Oh, man, it's a great day, Steve. Steve, are you with us? Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I think
okay, I got you. I was getting nervous for a second. Well, I got to tell you, right before the top of the hour, we had a great call, and he hung up. And I had to, have to take
the guy was so worried about Panama?
Yeah. So he hung up, and I wanted to put him on with you and me. And if you are out there listening,
he ran away.
You are welcome to call back in, Mr. Panama, with your funny accent. But today's a great day. Before we get into the issues, we had an incredible turnout at Wings Plus yesterday, which was very touching to me, Steve. The turnout was... It's
the biggest turnout I've ever seen at Wings Plus in all the 20 years they've been sponsoring us.
Yeah. And and not only that, Steve, it was cold and rainy yesterday, and we had a massive turnout. That was like, so all you guys again. But Conservative Doug came by. Did you run into Conservative Doug?
Yes, I ran into him.
Yeah, Conservative Doug, he called me this morning, and he told me that he sent some of his friends that have neuropathy over to Lighthouse Medical in Pompano to have their neuropathy treated, and that their neuropathy's gone.
Yes.
It's gone.
Well, that's no big shock to me.
And...
you got neuropathy and you want to get rid of it, that's the place to go.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you had your neuropathy treatment at Lighthouse Medical over 2.5 years ago. It has not returned. Yep. So, Lighthouse Medical, not only do they have a treatment for neuropathy that rids you of your neuropathy symptoms, it lasts. Here's Steve, over 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing. Now, I want to give you their number. When you call, make sure you mention the Steve Kane Show, because if you do, you get to take advantage of their no-charge consultation, okay? They don't offer that to other people. So you got to mention the Steve Kane Show to get the no-charge consultation, or they'd be bogged down all day with no-charge consultations. They wouldn't have time to see patients, right? So make sure, make sure you mention that. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642, and online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. And again, make sure you mention the Steve Kane Show when you call. Yesterday was one of the most exciting days, Steve, in my memory.
The only thing that marred it was those final pardons by Biden, which really frosted everybody, including John. It's too bad there's nothing they can do about that.
Well, not everybody got a pardon, but here's the thing. With some exceptions, most of those people were not going to go to jail. Let's be real. Now, I'm not saying they should not have gone to jail, but they wouldn't have gone to jail. Fauci, Liz Cheney, But with those, I don't view those as pardons. I view them as indictments. You know what I mean?
There's no question it shows what was really going on.
Yeah.
Proof of the pudding in the eating, and they certainly ate like gluttons yesterday.
Oh yeah. So the pardons, I'm not upset about the pardons. I'm not saying they were great. I'm not supporting them, but
the whole way they snuck it in was what was repellent in my eyes.
I mean, it's really pathetic how he pardoned not just his whole family, but even his brother-in-law and his sister-in-law got pardons too. I mean,
It goes to show you how corrupt that whole family is down to its roots.
Yeah, I know. So
they were all bagmen.
That's exactly right.
Biden bagmen.
Bagmen, for those of you that don't know, they all were. He had a bunch of Hunter Bidens. Okay, everybody in the family was doing what Hunter was doing, right? Fake jobs, fake deals, and all this stuff, and it's all criminal. But hey, listen, he's a has-been now, right?
That's for sure. He certainly got his.
But
no question.
Last night, did you see any of the press conference President Trump had last night?
It sounds like I might have missed that one from what the.
Well, I played some of it a little earlier. He went back to did you see him signing the executive orders in the Oval Office?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That turned into a press conference because even though we couldn't see them, the entire White House press corps were in the Oval Office. And it went on for 3/4 of an hour. They were asking him question after question, and he was answering them as he was signing the executive orders.
Just like Joe Biden. Kind of reminds you of Joe Biden, right?
Please. I mean, America's back. We've got a functioning president again, and it was beautiful. When I got home from Wings Plus yesterday, I watched the inaugural speech again. I watched it at Wings Plus, but I watched it again. And one of our listeners at Wings Plus, Irma, Gary's wife, she said this isn't an inauguration speech; it's a roast. He's roasting these people, and that's the best description. I mean, that's the best description of it. But here's the thing.
It's great. Great.
Oh yeah.
But one of I kind of had this image in my mind, the way it was sold to us, I just had an image of all these people from South America being dragged in across the borderline and deposited on the Mexican side of the border, but I didn't see much of that.
Well, first off, they shut down the border, so the border's shut down now. You didn't see all the Mexicans crying on the fence that were in line to illegally enter?
No, I didn't see that show.
Oh yeah, there's all these illegals were lined up getting ready to illegally enter the United States. Trump shut the border down and they were in shock. Some of them were angry, some of them were crying. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the border's shut down now. But Adam,
did they roll out the kids?
I'm sure that'll be today.
Immigrant kids.
That'll be today.
Kids?
They got caught off guard. They'll have the kids today, and they'll be dirty. Their clothes will be dirty, and they'll be crying, and they'll have They'll have dirty toys and stuff. But out of everything he did yesterday, one of the things he did, which really was kind of my favorite, is classifying the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Gangs, yeah.
And in the Oval Office executive order signing press conference, Peter Doocy said, "Does that mean you'll send U.S. Special Forces into Mexico and take out the cartels?" And he said, "Stranger things have happened." That should have happened 30 years ago, and now it's going to happen. He's going to take them out. And out of everything he talked about yesterday, that was, if I had to pick just one thing that was like my favorite thing he did yesterday, that was it. The cartels. Those cartels are behind so much of this, man. And they run Latin America. Okay, now I am going. Sorry, Steve. I'm going to attempt to take a call or two with you. So if I disconnect you, I'll call you during the break. All right. All right. Hold on. We're gonna take our break. Actually, put everybody on hold. We're gonna take our break. We'll be back with Steve Kane and your calls in just a bit. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. There's one opening on our board. The number is 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Hey, Steve, sorry, I had to break for Barry, but I'm going to put you back on in a minute. Hold on. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here with us. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You know, there was a couple other things he did, Steve, yesterday. The declaring the cartels terrorist organizations, that's big. The birthright citizenship is big. But, you know, the pardons of the J6 prisoners is huge. And I don't know if you had a favorite thing that he did yesterday or not. Steve, you back with us? All right, I'll go back to the phones there. Hold on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How you doing? We're still celebrating from yesterday.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm telling you.
I know, we're celebrating. Listen, I like everything about yesterday. I like the dresses. I like Ivanka. I like the First Lady Melania. She looked stunning. Class came back to the White House. I loved my president. I love seeing the Senate confirm Marco Rubio, the first Hispanic American holding that position ever, which shows how racist our president is.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. All right, let's.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I know Byron. He gave a great speech yesterday. How can I say it? I mean, I'm very happy. I mean, sanity came back. How can I say this? I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled about what's happening. Now, what I want to see now from this point forward is President Trump analyzing who is near him. For example, I don't like Zuckerberg. I don't like him. I don't think he should have been there yesterday. But I understand why President Trump is doing it. He's probably
a lot of these people are kind of like useful idiots. You know, you talk about Facebook and these different groups. These are like the heads of networks, news networks and things like that from yesteryear. So, you know, it doesn't matter if we like them or not. You got to use them.
Yes, I understand that, but let's not forget that he blocked President Trump. He blocked and violated President Trump's civil rights, just like my rights. You know how
So what are you going to do? So you're going to cut off one of the biggest news source guys because he you know, what are you supposed to do? You know, that's that, you know.
Well, you know what? I feel that Americans should gather and sue Zuckerberg for violating their civil rights. I personally lost 3 Instagram pages because of him. President Trump.
We've all done that. But hey, listen, I got to run, but I do appreciate the call. All right, and we are going to, let me see here which line this is. Let's see. Okay. You're on the air.
Let me run. I got it.
Okay, you got it.
How are you?
All right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
How are you, sir?
Doing all right.
What a groomer. I tell you, next to my kids getting born and married, yesterday was the best day of my life.
It was exciting.
It is.
It was
Very
exciting.
quickly, I know he pardoned a lot of people, his family, but they should still go after them. The pardon doesn't stop them from being prosecuted. The pardon just prevents them from going to
jail. You wouldn't find it. Now you're living in fantasy land. All right, hey, listen, I carry some good thoughts, but, you know, I don't know about that. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Brian?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, today we're doing our seminar in Naples, our Living Trust seminar, and we're expecting a full room. And this is a seminar where we go over everything you need to know about living trusts and wills and powers of attorney and all the healthcare documents you need to make sure you're protected in case you become disabled, and make sure that you leave a proper legacy for those you leave behind. We're also going to talk about why most estate plans don't work properly and what a well-drafted estate plan looks like and what the value of that is. And of course, we're going to have the same seminar next week, a week from today on the 28th at 2 p.m. in Boca Raton.
Great.
So that one we're still taking reservations for. So anybody who is interested in learning what they need to know about protecting themselves and their families, about setting up a proper estate plan, about setting up a living trust, about making sure they protect themselves from the cost of long-term care. We're going to cover all of those things, both today in Naples and next week in Boca Raton.
Yeah, and these workshops do fill up, so you want to call and reserve your spot. They're free, okay? You just have to call and reserve your seat, and when you call the Siegel Law Group, they'll give you directions and all the details. The number to call toll-free is 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And the website is SiegelLawGroup.com. Yeah, I'm going to be heading to Naples in a couple weeks, Barry. I haven't been there in a long time. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, excellent. So, call me if you have any questions about it.
Absolutely.
I'm here all the time and I love it.
Absolutely. All right, Barry, take care. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, so Attorney Barry Siegel, give him a call. All right, Steve Kane. All right, Steve, yesterday I was telling you, the thing about the drug cartels, labeling them terrorist organizations, like my favorite. Was there anything to you that really stood out that President Trump did yesterday that you're like, wow? Because, it was just a beautiful day. You back with us, Steve? All right, I'll put him back on. All right, here we go. All right, you're on the air.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Jason. I'm calling from Providence, Rhode Island.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, so I had a question. The question is for you. What do you think it's going to look like for people like myself during the Trump presidency, people like myself that are on disability, Social Security, and also other government assistance programs.
I don't understand the question.
Well, I'm just curious how it's going to pan out for people like me that are collecting like welfare or Social Security disability. Is he going to cut our fundings or what's going to happen?
Why would you think your funding's going to get cut? Where'd you get that idea? Your Social Security and disability? Where'd you hear that at? Rachel Maddow?
I don't know. I heard that throughout all various news channels that he would cut Social Security and he would cut down on welfare and things like that.
No. Welfare. You're not on welfare, are you?
Well, I collect food stamps.
He's not going to cut back on food stamps.
You don't think so?
I know so. Who said that? Did President Trump say that?
No, President Trump didn't say that.
Okay.
So
Who said
I
it?
probably shouldn't believe it.
Who said it?
I'm not sure who said it. I heard it through various.
Where did you hear it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I heard it.
You think
from,
it didn't?
but
Maybe you hallucinated it. In fact, if
maybe
you're on
it's
Social
going to
Security,
too
you're
much.
gonna have more money because not only is it going to lower prices of everything, but he's no taxes on Social Security. You got nothing to worry about.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
Thanks for my call.
All right,
Appreciate
take care. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, Steve, are you back with us? You're on the air. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I'll get Steve back on the line during the bottom of the hour break, okay? But I'll tell you this, okay, with that last caller, because I'm not really sure what to make of the last caller. I don't know if the last... okay, I'll take it. Hold on, I'm texting. I'm not sure if the last caller is pulling our leg and trying to scare people, or if he's getting information from television or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But, you know, I don't know if he's a seminar caller or not. And I tend to think he might be a seminar caller of sorts, because this is what the Democrats do, okay? The Democrats always are trying to scare people that they're going to lose their government benefits with any Republican who's in office. In fact, you know, with the last caller there, that is an old liberal talking point. In fact, not only is it an old liberal talking point, it's one of the oldest liberal talking points. One of the oldest liberal talking points is that seniors are going to lose their Social Security, they're going to lose their Medicare, and he threw food stamps in there. That is an old talking point from like the 80s and 90s. The last time I heard that, Bob Dole was running for president. So I don't know if he's an updated seminar caller or if he's just a liberal guy who's gone rogue on his own. But I'll tell you this. If you are receiving any type of government benefits, you've got nothing to worry about. You're going to have more money because prices are going to go down. And the little bit of money that you have from your government, whatever, is going to go further. Now, if you're on hold, guys, we'll go back to the calls after our bottom of the hour break. I'm going to get Steve back connected with us during the bottom of the hour break, and we will go to your calls. Our number is 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. We're keeping it open phones as long as it involves what the inauguration events yesterday. Anything that happened in the world of politics of Trump yesterday is fair game, okay? It's not open phones like on Fridays. It's open phones so far as yesterday's events because so much has happened. Now, I want to remind you guys that at MyPillow, Mike Lindell has an incredible offer for you guys, okay? And it's the MyPillow cross. It's the same cross that Mike Lindell himself wears. He has one version for men, one version for women, and he has a special offer for our listeners and our listeners only. Our listeners are going to receive $75 off the MyPillow cross. Everyone else, only gets $50 off. So you got to go to our special MyPillow website. It's $75 off with our promo code Kane and free shipping. It's mypillow.com/Kane. mypillow.com/Kane. You go there and you can get your MyPillow cross for $75 off. And by the way, they're not sold as a set, the male and female. So it's $75 off of each one and free shipping on each one. But you got to go to mypillow.com/Kane and use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. We will be back right after this break. Hey, I went to him 4 times, and I could hear him there. Were you listening? Well, what were you hearing? Could you hear me going to him? Yeah, because when I didn't hear anything, he didn't talk, I put him back on hold. But he was... Okay. Let me think. Oh, okay. I'll pay attention. Okay. Well, okay. So you could hear you could hear me, and he was talking, but I couldn't. See, I don't understand because, and let me what I don't understand is it doesn't happen with anybody else. I've been taking calls all day, Barry even, and the callers, and it only happens with Steve. That's what I can't figure out. Okay. Well, when I don't hear him talking, I put him back on hold. All right. Okay. So what I'll probably do, okay, is I'll go to him when we get back. After the show, I'll call him and we'll do some practicing. You know what I mean? Going back and forth. You know what I mean? Okay, after the show. So I'll go back to him when we get back, but then after the show, I'll call back, and we'll do a dry run afterwards. If that works? Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm having problems connecting with Steve. I don't know why. I can't figure out why, and it only happens with Steve. So that was he said that was Steve and his wife. He was talking, but I didn't hear him. So I cannot understand why that was happening. We'll be back in just over 2 minutes. All right, Steve? Okay, we're going to be back in 2 minutes. I told Lori, we'll continue with the show, but then after the show, I'll call you back, and we'll do some practice dry runs, and I'll figure out what the problem was, because I couldn't hear you. And okay, all right. So we'll continue, and then after the show, when I sign off, I'll call you back, and we'll do some test and get it worked. All right, hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why that would happen. We'll be back in just over a minute. You're getting the behind the scenes. Less than a minute. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, and on the line, we're joined by Steve Kane. Hey, Steve. I've got the... Steve, are you back with us? Oh, my goodness, guys. It's one of those days. All right, I'm going to go back to the phones. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. Steve, are you with us? All right, I'm going to have to put him on hold again. This is one of those days, guys. This is just not working out for me. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on.
Brian, this is Rod from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Rod, what's up?
Oh, I watched the inauguration and the festivals yesterday, and I was smiling all day. We got a new country today,
Yep, we sure do.
and I'm extremely proud. I'm not even going to take a swipe at the lying media scum or the Democrats today. I'm just going to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I know. You know, I was hoping we could get through the whole show without mentioning Biden or Kamala, but a few people have mentioned it.
Well, what do we got to do? Listen, it's a new day. There's a new mood in this country, and we've got everybody standing up. We're going to fight for this country again.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, we got it. It's our country. We took it back. All right, I appreciate the call. All right. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Gail, and I'm calling from Missouri.
Yes, Gail.
And the reason I'm calling is because I'm a Trump supporter, and I voted for Trump, but I was told it's been online and stuff, and it's a scare, but I was told that Social Security benefits would be cut for disabled people.
Who said that? Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that?
Online.
Where did you hear that?
Online.
Online.
I was also told that because I'm disabled, people that voted for Trump will be out on the streets in wheelchairs with oxygen tanks.
Where did you see? Of course, you don't believe that, right?
I hope to God not.
Come on.
I love President
Come on.
Trump. And
Why would you even think something like that could possibly happen?
Well, because I guess maybe the propaganda that the Democrat Party has spread.
Where did you see this online? Where did you see this online?
That Glenn Kushner or Kushner, whatever his name
I don't know who that is.
It's a guy that's against Donald Trump.
Well, why would you believe something like that? Hold on a second. Why would you believe something like that? Why? I don't want to know this guy's name. I don't want to give him publicity. Why would you listen to some anti-Trump guy?
Put that out there.
Why would you listen to some anti-Trump guy like that?
Because I wanted to find out what the hell was going on with everybody, so I watched everybody to make an informed decision.
No. Well, no. Why would you believe some anti-Trump guy telling you something stupid like that?
One of the Senate hearings that they did live on TV on I guess YouTube. It was a hearing where the Senate people talked.
Yeah.
Something about throwing grandma underneath the bus.
Oh my goodness! Come on!
They were talking about
Come on!
security.
And you're MAGA? You love Trump? You're MAGA?
I'm just scared that.
All right, I appreciate the call. Okay, now this is the new world we're in. All right, this is the new world we are in. Okay, Trump's been president 20 hours. I've gotten 2 calls in the last 10 minutes from 2 people that say they're on Social Security, disability, Medicare, and food stamps, and that they've been told they're going to lose all of it because of Trump. Now, I'll throw this out to you guys. Are these two random people that just happened to call me back to back? Or are the DNC sending seminar callers out? What would you think? What would you think? Is it just random and coincidental? Or are they seminar callers? I mean, we know it's not true. But why am all of a sudden I'm getting multiple calls like that back to back? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Ron out of Houston. How are you today?
All right. Can you get off the speakerphone?
Yes, I can, sir. Sorry, you're on the radio.
No. That's okay.
Is that better, sir?
It is better. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. It's Ron out of Houston. Right now I'm up in Cleveland, but I live in Houston. I'm
All
a
right.
40-year veteran of being over-the-road truck driver.
Okay. What's up?
Couple of things. I just moved out of Florida. We moved into Texas, though, so kind of the same lateral move. But beautiful. I am so happy, especially being a truck driver, owning my own business as well. Can't wait to see the good things that Mr. Trump's bringing in. But I do have a question. Maybe you know, with this birthright citizenship, he keeps saying that America is the only country that does this. Now, I'm a veteran, and my son was born in Cambridge, England, and he had English citizenship until he was 18. He could choose.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what he's saying. This is the only.
Well,
country.
if that's true, I guess he's mistaken, and England does it too.
Okay, well, I didn't know if that was the way it was in every country, and
If what you said's true, which I don't know, if what you said's true, I don't know that what you said's true.
Yeah, he had. Well, it was called dual citizenship, and at 18, he had to go ahead and choose
Was
which
your
one he wanted.
was his mother English?
No. Me and my wife both moved there just because we were in the service.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I've heard of people who have a parent that's from the host country. That's different. But I've never heard what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, and of course, this was back in the 80s, so maybe things have changed.
Well, even if it's true, what does it matter? You know, if England was getting invaded by 25 million people, I think they would do away with that if it's true.
No, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I love Trump. I mean, I've been a Trumpster even before he was, a name. I've been following him for my whole life. But I think the way they did the inauguration yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it indoors. I thought it brought such a sense of class and to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just excited and can't wait to move on. And I've been listening to you for years. Never spoke with you, but I think you're doing a great job.
Well, welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. You're a very good caller. Appreciate the call. Take care. Got a little loud noise on the truck, but it's very much appreciated. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You know, the thing with the birthright citizenship, I don't know. We don't know how that's going to play out. You know, it's the 14th Amendment. We understand that even if it's true, what's going on with this with the illegals from the southern border is an abuse of that amendment. Okay, it's an abuse of that system. So, you know. We'll find out. But regardless, even if it's something that doesn't hold up into the Supreme Court, and you know what? It very well may hold up in the Supreme Court, Trump's executive order. But even if it does, it doesn't matter. Because, you know, the problem with the birthright citizenship is that, you know, that's where the anchor baby thing comes on. The illegals are using that to anchor themselves in the country. That's where the anchor baby slogan comes from. And that's going to be over. Because even if that child born here is a U.S. citizen, when this finally gets to the Supreme Court and they decide, the parents won't have a right to be here. So are the parents going to leave their little infant behind? Some may, but most would not. So it's a, you know, believe me, this was not the intent of, I mean, think about it. What's going on at the southern border is an invasion. So you have an invading army comes into a country and they have babies, the invading army, because that's what this is. You mean to tell me that we make the children of an invading army U.S. citizens? That doesn't sound right to me. That's a much different situation. When somebody's here illegally and that happens, we're not talking about people that are in the country legally. We're talking about people that are in the country illegally. You're on the air. What's your name? What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Matthew. Hi, it's Matthew from Pompano. How are you?
All right, Matthew. What's up?
So, I actually know quite a bit about the birthright citizenship, the 14th Amendment, and
okay. Now, I just looked up what this guy said before you go that I just talked to. If you're born in England and your parents are not British citizens, you are not automatically a British citizen. You would need to register to become a British citizen, as being born in the UK does not automatically grant citizenship unless at least one parent has settled status or is a British citizen at the time of birth. So what that guy said is inaccurate.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, they changed it in 1982. But
there you go. So it must have been before 82.
Correct. No other Western democracy, including Great Britain, Australia, Israel, France, has the concept of birthright citizenship. They have other tests which would make more sense for a society as to who would be reasonable to become a citizen. The reason that the United States had this because of the vagaries of slavery, which after the Civil War, they had to create status for the 7 million former slaves who were property prior to because of
the 14th Amendment was for the freed slaves and the Native American Indians to establish that Indians and the slaves, the freed slaves, were U.S. citizens. That's the intent of it. Yes.
Correct, and that was the intent. So listen, they were all born here because they'd stopped importing them really in the early 1800s. Therefore, that was the easiest way to get them status. The 14th Amendment widened over time to become the equal protection clause. You can't have two classes of citizens. The problem with just trying to reverse it is there is a Supreme Court case, Wong Kim Ark, a Chinese national who was protesting against these Chinese exclusion laws. I was born in San Francisco. My parents were from Shanghai. That's an 1896 case that literally then established the 14th Amendment to have birthright citizenship. So it's not to say that they couldn't reverse it, but they had already looked at and adjudicated as part of the 14th Amendment.
Yeah.
It would mean they'd have to reinterpret it and say, we no longer. Of course, it is a problem for immigration.
Well, listen, I got to run for a break. But see, when we're talking about the migrants, we're talking about people that are here illegally. We're not talking about people that are in the country legally. So maybe if you're a legal immigrant, maybe it would apply. But if you have entered the country illegally is a whole other thing than somebody who's here legally, like on a visa, a tourist, a legal immigration status. Being in the country illegally is a whole other thing. Listen, I got to run for a break, but I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We're going to take our last break and be right back. Hey, it's Brian. I'm going to put you. You're going to hear music when I put you on hold, but when you hear me next, we'll be on the air. Hey. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. It's time to check in with William Youngerman with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Metals looking great as they continue to push towards their all-time highs. Gold nicely over $2,700, closing out yesterday on short-term trading of $2,707.80. That was up $5.80 on gold. Silver was up 14 cents, closing out the day at $30.45 the ounce, while platinum gained $4 at $9.42, and palladium was down $3 at $9.32. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $2,697 all the way up to $2,731 right now. We're at $2,728 the ounce. That's up $20.20. Silver up 5 cents at $30.50 the ounce. Platinum gaining $5 at $9.47, and palladium down $8 at $9.24. So the markets are doing very well, staying above the $30 for silver and $2,700 for gold. And if that continues, we certainly will be challenging the all-time record highs that we saw last year.
Wow, this is amazing. For people, the gold's looking hot today. People that are looking to increase their gold positions, are things still looking good with the American Gold Eagle, the American Gold Buffaloes, and the pre-33 gold?
Absolutely. Best buys we've had in a long time on all of the precious metals. Lowest premiums you'll ever pay. And so that gives you a great opportunity. Although the price of gold is higher, the premiums are much lower. So it does average out to give you a great buying opportunity here on the precious metals.
When you say that, are you talking about on the American products or overall?
Overall, the premiums are down, but you don't usually get a chance to buy the American products at discounted premiums.
Yeah.
That's what we have right now.
You hear that, guys?
Values.
You hear that, guys? Okay. So give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 561. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Or stop in. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. And you can find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. And let me tell you, with these low premiums on the American Gold Eagle, Gold Buffaloes, and the pre-33, this is really a time to pick those up. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
You too. All right, we are back. Let's go back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ, what up?
Hey, my man. Just incredibly happy, really. Yesterday, to me, it's just one glorious moment after the other. Sort of, I would say, sort of like making Amazing Grace, amen, by making America, great again. It just just so damn wonderful, it's hard to explain. But I look at the injustice that brought us to, because what brought us Donald Trump and what brought us to this point was the injustice and pain that the Democrat Party, the deep state, the rhinos, all this DEA and the DEI, the critical race theory and the woke policies, the injustice of these illegals being treated like kings while Americans suffer. And just the injustice after injustice. It brought us, Donald Trump, the best president we've ever seen. And this next 4 years is going to golden age. It's going to be incredible. And the two countries that are going to benefit the most from it are going to be Canada and Mexico, because we're going to explode economically. But
and let me tell you, if Trump takes out these cartels with the military, which he should do, I think Mexico is going to love it. I mean, they're living. It's like living under ISIS in Mexico with these cartels.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Mexico's got about a 1.9 trillion GDP. Canada's about 2.2 trillion, and we're at 30. These guys border us. They basically, Mexico's about 80% of their exports. Canada's about 77%. But when we explode like we're going to, because Trump is we're going to have so much business. There's going to be so many jobs in our country, and we're going to explode. They're going to benefit from that. And these cartels, you were talking about the things that the executive orders, and I was very happy to hear that he tagged those guys with the terrorists, put the terrorist tag on them.
Well, let me tell you, yesterday he only had half a day, and more than half of that half a day was filled up with ceremony, and look at what he got done.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's amazing that a president in 4 years, it's going to be like this pretty much every day of the next 4. Trump understands he's got 4 years. The Democrats are in trouble because they're
very much in trouble, Brian.
They don't.
Very much in trouble.
The Democrats don't understand that they're losing because of their positions. They think that their messaging is wrong. They got to get better messaging.
Yeah.
After 4 years of
that we got.
After
You were
4 years.
yesterday
Well, let me finish. After
about-
after
okay,
4
I'm sorry, go ahead.
After 4 years of what we experienced yesterday with President Trump, the standards of the presidency and the expectation that the American people have of the government is going to be forever changed in a way that the Democrats cannot adapt to. Because, you know, these couple of callers I got about they're going to lose their Social Security and Medicare, I don't know if those calls are legit or not. You know, I'm starting the Lean seminar with 2 of them back to back. That's the Democrat strategy? Techniques from the 80s and 90s?
Seminar was what I thought, Brian.
When I got the first one I was suspicious, but the second one, come on, in a row. I haven't gotten a call like that in years.
Tag teamed you. They would tag team it. And I look, you know, the discussion you having about pardons the other day. I mean, listen, I would like a lot of people to go to jail, but that's not as important as the truth coming out. And what Biden handed us yesterday was basically a win in 26, 28, and beyond. Because that is basically the reason why we're here is because of the injustices, the split, you know, the split screen, you know, I will not pardon my son, and then he pardons his son, and this, you know, nobody is above the law, and then he pardons half of the Democratic Party, his entire family.
Yeah.
It's going to be the ads. The ads have already written themselves, and that injustice is stuck with them. And we got the youth. Trump won the youth by like 30, so we've got a good base support going forward. You know.
Well, the thing is, they didn't pardon everyone. I didn't see any pardons for Fannie or Letitia or Bragg. You know all these people. So there's a lot of people that are nervous.
There's still a lot of meat on the bone.
That's right. That's right. I got to run, but thank you for the call. By the way, we've had great calls throughout the entire day. I want to tell everybody about the incredible free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. Sloman's is going to give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly with your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. It's a credible deal. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, they're going to give you a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call no matter where you're located. It's a great offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. All right, let's go back to our very busy phones. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't get that one in time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Devin, and I'm from Texas.
All right, Devin.
I'm a deaf man.
You're what? You're deaf?
Do you provide live captioning or no? I'm a deaf man, so I've been looking for that.
What's your name?
For the
I'm
caption,
sorry.
But I don't see it.
I'm sorry. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Devin.
Well,
My
I
name
thought.
is Devin.
Well, how'd you hear me? I thought you were deaf. Yeah. What an idiot. Oh my goodness. He's deaf. I ask him a question, he answers it. But he's deaf. Dumb? Yes. Deaf? I don't think so. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh my goodness, that was too easy. They didn't even challenge me on that one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Graham up in Stewart.
Hey, Graham.
How's it going? Hey, so what about that Nazi salute that Elon did at the tail end of the festivities? What was up with that?
It was not a Nazi salute. That's what's up with it.
He did it twice, just so in case you missed it. Let me ask you,
Graham. Okay.
Look.
Don't be a smarty pants. Okay, don't be a smarty pants. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Yeah. Why would Elon Musk, the top man with the President of the United States, on Inauguration Day, according to you, not once but twice, do a Nazi Sieg Heil salute? Why would the richest man in the world who's highly intelligent and sends rockets into space that could land back on the launch pad, why would someone so smart, so connected, on top of the world do something like that yesterday? Twice.
That is what we are all asking, Brian, after we
Well,
witnessed him do it.
it was not a Nazi salute, and you know it wasn't a Nazi salute.
Listen, I want to tell you, I'm pretty skeptical about anything I see from mainstream media.
Listen, are you a married man?
Indeed, I am.
How long you been married?
7 years.
7 years. So you got your life together and everything. What are you doing as a responsible married man who's got your act together, living in MAGA Martin County? Why are you spreading such stupidity? You know damn well he didn't do a Nazi salute.
First of all, I'm from Martin County, not like you from some podunk town in the Rust Belt who moved down here.
I don't know what where's the answer to my question? Why is someone in your together position spewing stupidity like that? Does it make sense to you? Does it? It was not. It was not. No, you didn't see him do it. That's not the Nazi salute.
That's so crazy. You guys can see something that's right in front of you and be like,
no, you are. I don't even think you're hallucinating. I think he's one of the smartest men in the world, and you think he would do something that stupid? The richest man in the world would do something that stupid?
I just want to hear. Listen. So when he tells everybody, yeah, it was a Nazi salute, what are you going to do?
It's never going to happen because it wasn't it was not a Nazi salute.
Era diamond mine, and I'm rich as hell, and I can do anything I want. Are you going to backtrack, or are you going to?
No, it was not a Nazi salute, and he's never going to say it was because it wasn't. Listen, I'm out of time for the day, but I wish you would have called earlier so we could have talked longer. Oh my goodness. Oh. The never Trumpers, they're still there. They're still dreaming. They're still hoping. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Great calls today. God bless the President of the United States, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow at 6 a.m. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I got to run and figure out this tech issue with Steve.